It's G League basketball time once more here on a Tuesday night. My name's Dan Rodier. Joined alongside me here is Colin Surrey. It's orange and black in our first game of our doubleheader this evening. A couple teams that are looking to pick up at least another individual win. They can't pick up a couple wins, unfortunately. They don't play doubleheaders themselves. Colin, Orange coming into today, they didn't have the greatest of time last week, but all in all, a decent week for them.
And a great chance to come out and turn that around. That's a great opportunity for both of these teams to come out and show what they're made of. And just great to be in this gymnasium. What a tremendous venue for basketball.
Yeah.
Always excited to come out here and watch the Panthers get it on this hardwood.
We'll give them a second to finish up the prayer before our game starts, and we'll get things just about underway. The one thing I do love about the Greenville G League is the fact that it incorporates other schools as well. If you are at all curious at home and somehow found this broadcast without going onto the G League page, you can find all the schedules upcoming not only in this semester but into the next semester online at the G League page on the athletics website here at Greenville University. The tip, basically 50-50 on both sides, but it is picked up by Drew Canada, already down to Chase White, who wants to try and kick things off himself. Takes a three from the corner and hits it early. 3-0 Black to kick things away. All in all, a little surprising on the early start, but we wanted to make sure that things are indeed functioning before we get things off, and we are missing a camera operator here in our broadcast booth, or broadcast bleachers. So the temporary stoppage, I believe, is because the scoreboard had to reset.
Well, it's convenient for us, too, finding a camera operator.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works out like that. Apologies, you missed that corner pocket three. It was partially contested as well. Confident three-point shot, just stepping into it, knocking it down. Impressive start there for Team Black and Chase White with a long-range shot.
You will see Chase White get around most of the court for most of the day here. So the reason they had to restart the scoreboard is because they didn't have a shot clock actively enabled. Before this, the varsity team was in their scrimmage, and they didn't use the shot clock because they were just scrimmaging, so it didn't really matter. But things will reset. Unfortunately, Orange gets robbed of 10 seconds off their shot clock, and things will just about commence as a quick pass the opposite corner, trying the same thing. It rims out. Unfortunate start for Orange. They tried to turn it back. That was Santana Bolden trying to turn back this lead. Drive for Canada. Can't get it, and he'll reset outside to Medina. Medina to the corner. Drive again. This time the pass towards the other corner. Left wing three for Canada. He won't hit it. Just a little far north, like the country itself. Looking for a second shot, and one for Torrance Kistner. 5-0 Black.
Yeah, impressive finish, and you can see the Panthers' style of basketball all over on that last possession right there. A lot of drive and kick, the unselfishness with the extra pass to get the wide open three. And even though it didn't lead to the made shot, led to an offensive rebound.
Hey, sometimes the offensive rebound's all you need. Second chance opportunities being what they are, whether it's varsity or JV basketball, still very much an opportunity. That's technically a second chance bucket, but off the very front of the rim, a self-rebound into a second floater for Santana Bolden puts Orange on the board. Two separate three-point plays for Black in two very different ways is how we've kicked things away before said floater. Another corner three. That one does not go, and Bolden gets the rebound. Bolden trying to drive again. He gets up there and gets it down on the floater up and over, but unfortunately going down very hard in the corners, Antoine Rhodes, who is not by any means quick to get up.
How about this man, Santana Bolden, playing volleyball with himself off the rim on that last possession. Then he goes coast to coast, showing off the body control and the strength inside. And, of course, hate to see that player down for Black, but really a impressive showing from Santana Bolden. His prowess in the paint is very evident early on.
See, the one thing that broadcasters love is having a lack of players on the bench to not have to worry about remembering player numbers into player names. It's not very good when you remember that injuries do indeed happen, even in JV League basketball. And so, with only one sub on the bench, they are officially, at least temporarily, out of subs on the black side. On the orange side, it's only Tyson Ackerman sitting on that bench. Another corner three. They're 1 for 3 thus far on the black side. This one's carried up. Nice floating pass inside. Even better steal for Canada. And he gets it off the knee of Caleb Johnson. Black ball.
Yeah, great effort in defensive transition. And like you talked about with the injuries, of course, you'd hate to see that at any point. But gets you ready for the style of ball you're going to have to play at the varsity level here. Really intensive on the cardio.
Another drive, stripped the other way, and basically the exact same thing, just the opposite side of the court. Orange ball now to inbound and try and set up from the baseline, and they'll do so to Bolden. See, now, this is the second week in a row where we've had a couple numbers that I cannot pick up. Orange has a number 23 who I think is Jesus Madero, but I could be wrong. I'll look to clarify on my own side. No, that was Jesus Madero, who just drove down the lane and got that layup. We'll figure out. No, it's Josep Romero wearing number 23. He was wearing number 3 last week. That's what it was. So keep that in mind maybe for all of you looking at the roster pages at home. Good reverse layup from Chase White. He's got 5 on the game already.
Yeah, starting to see that pace pick back up. Defenses making some stops in the half court.
Ooh, a little bit of an overcommitment for Santana Bolden. He does not pick up the layup, nor is he immediately back on defense. Decent idea on the kick out by Chase White. Unfortunately, his teammate who he wanted to go through, Torrey Kistner, was already driving for a layup on the supposed layup attempt, or rebound on the supposed layup attempt, so ball out of bounds.
You'll get some of those turnovers within this offense. A lot of back cutting. Got to be on that same page as your teammate.
Block on the drive, courtesy of Josep Romero. He can't get it to go. Romero from Gudia Valencia. One of the few players from Europe in the G League, not only including Greenville, but across all the schools participating in the G League.
By the way, the G League that everyone really cares about, that other G League we don't really mess with.
Three-pointer won't go. Right wing attempt doesn't land for Medina. He's been automatic on the drive-in and floaters, but he can't hit those threes on that much of a consistent basis. There's Johnson with the layup, ties this up at 8 apiece. Another drive here for Black. They don't overcommit to it, though. There's Medina, maybe looking for a floater. He'll go for a second chance layup, can't get it. And Orange has been playing a lot better defense since the first 2 or 3 possessions of the game. So too is Black. There's Medina with the strip and steal from behind. Another drive here just over top of the attempted block. In 5-on-5 basketball, it's number 5, Torrey Kistner, over top of number 5, Jesus Madero.
Yeah, Medina started all of that. That's a play where Orange has to be communicative in transition. Let your teammate know, behind, somebody's trailing.
Yeah.
Nobody let the ball carrier know on that last possession.
Now, lack of communication is something that can really cost you in a league like this, especially when you have a lack of substitutes. Speaking of substitutes, by the way, Tyson Ackerman comes in for Jackson Garman, the Greenville, Illinois resident, in for the Roxana, Illinois resident. Fun fact, my apartment's in South Roxana, all of half a mile south of Roxana. I know, really surprising.
I get down there to Belk Park quite a bit.
I had a membership there this summer. I'm debating on whether I want to re-up it.
Good little track.
Oh, yeah. Here's Chase White. He wanted a 3. He actually took it a second time. Ooh. Tyson Ackerman, as soon as he pulled up, he took 2 steps back like he was going to give the uncontested 3, and Chase White wasn't originally going to take it. Then he's like, wait, I've got an uncontested 3, might as well, and he hits it.
You better
Free opportunity.
Better close out on that, man, and we've seen him take it to the rack already, too.
A couple times on both sides, we've seen 3-point shooters with very decent opportunities. On that side, it was Bolden who ended up getting it knocked off out of his leg, or off of his leg. And fortunately, it looks like Antoine Rhodes is okay enough to play, which is a good first step. We'll see how competent he looks in the game. Again, Kistner just wanted to drive, doesn't find it. Ackerman taking over on defense there. And this man-to-man defense is looking a lot better for Orange compared to the zone we saw a couple times at Black. There is Rhodes from well beyond the three-point line, at least a few feet, if not a few yards. He ends up hitting it on a line drive.
Gave a little chef's kiss to the bench.
As he
Coach
should.
appreciated that one.
Ooh, nice little home roll there for Josep Romero, despite the fact that geographically, he is actually the furthest player from Greenville, Illinois. At least that's where he's from. Another three-pointer. That one lands for Lizelle Smith, his first points of the game. 19-12, just over 5 minutes into this one. And an early lead turned into a tie, into another early lead for Black. Good comeback potential for Orange. We saw that last week, but still, scary start for them.
Yeah, don't have the numbers right in front of us, but Daniel, right now it just feels like it's a game of you're trading threes for twos.
Yeah.
And the three-pointers are obviously worth that much more, and that's the difference right now on the scoreboard. Orange has gotten some really great looks down at the basket near the rim, but the shots have not been falling from the outside. Meanwhile, on the other end, wow, what a start from the outside for Chase White.
Yeah.
His sharp shooting ability has really carried Black and opened up those driving lanes where his teammates have been able to create a really balanced attack with that outside shot to go along with the finishing ability inside.
You know, I don't work a retail job, but I'll do some inventory for all of you at home. Here, thus far, Drew Canada, Chase White with 2, Tori Kistner with a couple drives, Sebastian Medina missed only 1, Lizelle Smith has 1, and Anjuan Rhodes all has 1. That is three-pointers. That doesn't count the drive and shoots they've had thus far. There's Ackerman with a little step-back jumper. He hits it. Nice floater, and he gets a high five from Drew Canada, who is on the other team. Nice little sportsmanship here for the home teams.
I mean, you got to give a little love for that. That was pure as can be. Made that look way easier than it is.
Chase White made that one look a little bit harder than he had to on the drive. Triple clutch, and he ends up reaching in. Foul behind the play.
Yeah,
on Santana Bolden.
That was one of those where I think maybe he was trying to draw the contact, looking for the foul, and good defensive discipline, never to give it up.
It's one thing I was always great at when I actually played basketball. It was staying straight up and playing proper defense without giving up too many baskets. Needless to say, I've not played basketball in a little while. It was when I was still the tallest person on the court, and I'm 6'2", just to give you some context on that one. Here's Ackerman. He's got a dangerous three-pointer. He tries to go for it, just a little short. And White ends up getting the rebound from Lizelle Smith. Here's White driving again, gives it to Rhodes, who drives himself. Kick out to Smith, right wing three, does not go. White tried to get the rebound, but contested with Bolden, who gets it. Interesting pass decision. Somehow Romero still gets it. Inside pass to the lower block. There's Caleb Johnson to put it up. What an interesting couple sequences of events.
Yeah, that was really impressive there. That pass along the sideline didn't look like it was going to have a lot of reward to it, but an excellent interior wraparound, just like we saw on this end.
Maybe on back-to-back occasions we're seeing this. Good communication there from Drew Canada. He makes sure Chase White knows, hey, go defend the ball immediately. Pulling the trigger second time around, sending one going right by is Josep Romero from the left wing. Nice little hesitation. We haven't seen a couple pump fakes thus far. Maybe turning back the clock.
I'll tell you what, Romero is playing some really high-level basketball in this first half. He's making everything go for Orange.
This is why the Euro Leagues are so good. White loses its dribble, now has to pick it up. 8 to shoot if they want to try and hurry. Just barely staying inside the baseline, and a jumper from the free throw line for Lizelle Smith. They will reset the shot clock just barely at that, but at the same time, Tori Kistner gets a rebound, gets a shot, and will get the bucket.
Okay, I get it. He missed the shot. You don't want to guard him, but you got to box him out still.
It's just a free rebound for Lizelle Smith. I don't know. Maybe not trying to go for it. Chase White, another reach in. That one doesn't get called. That one will. Second try. They kind of just slapped his forearm. Last time I checked, still illegal.
Hey, you got to earn it if you want to foul in this league. This is you mentioned that European style. Maybe a little European vibe to this. You gotta really earn it if you pick one up.
That's what I love. This is honestly watching basketball here last week. I loved it. It was so much fun. Watching them play through contact, watching them have to play through contact. For all of you not picking up on the obvious fact the referees are not going to call anything. They're not going to call everything. They will still call fouls, as we've seen thus far. I think it's, like 3 or 4 fouls overall, if not a 5th thus far.
But how enjoyable has this been?
It's good. I thoroughly, and with the Greenville style of basketball as well, it just adds a whole new extra layer of, it is speed back and forth. We had a game finish 115 to 113 after a 5-minute overtime period.
Sounds about right.
It was fun. Let's put it that way. Just outside the three-point line, that one does not go for Kistner. Rebound Ackerman, who's driving himself. 3-on-2 if they hurry. They throw it off the shoe of Lizelle Smith, and now 4-on-3 the other way. Here's Black in transition. Chase White wanted to go for it himself. He totally traveled, but he'll get the benefit of the aforementioned Zebras not calling much, and he'll get the bucket.
Oh, I loved the way he was able to change his speed, though. Just slowed himself up. He went from about 70 to 30 in the blink of an eye.
From 0 to 60 there for Santana Bolden. He'll hit another 3 from the right wing. And we're within 9 minutes into play. These teams are not separating themselves from one another by any means. White wanted to pull up, decides better of it. Antoine Rhodes, not so much, just barely gets that one to go. Another line drive just sneaks inside the front side of the rim.
I think I want to come out here and get a few shots up. These rims are friendly. Caught a little bit of the front iron, still goes down.
It helps when you have the home roll when there's 2 home teams. It is Greenville versus Greenville.
Extra home roll.
Yeah, that's what it goes for. That one, not so much. That was well inside. The jump lands for Kistner. Second chance. No way that stays in. It does. Unfortunately, it goes to Bolden. 1-on-1. Bolden just drives. Chase White decides, I'm not going to pick up a 3rd foul, and gives him the layup.
Yeah, Bolden 1-on-1 in transition. That's easy money.
Oh, good 1-2. Back to Antoine Rhodes. Can't get that one to go. He wasn't directly contested, and he didn't throw a line drive in. He's just got to go with what works. Here's Romero. Kick out to Johnson. Wanted to drive, thought better of it. Now he does so. Chase White wanted to take a charge. He won't be able to do so. It's back to Romero. His 3-pointer no good. Sebastian Medina patiently waiting to sub in. One of 2 players from the Southern Hemisphere in this game. Jesus Madero from Caracas, Venezuela. Medina from Medellin, Colombia. That being the state, or the country, not Columbia, Missouri. 3-pointer no good. Antoine Rhodes, as he tried to save it, was unfortunately just barely out, and Medina will have a time to come in.
Met a guy from Colombia the other day and was just an absolutely awesome person. Had a bunch of great conversations, and he was letting me in on all the Colombian food I need to try next time I get a chance.
Is there a Colombian food place around here? Probably not around
Probably
Greenville.
not around here. You might need to go into the city for that, and maybe Chicago is your best bet.
I'll see what I can do on that one. Just off of Rhodes' hand, we'll stay with Orange. I've been watching the 2nd season of Jack Ryan with John Krasinski, and that is held almost entirely in Caracas, Venezuela, plus a little bit of London. That's where I'm at right now. So,
interesting.
If anybody wants to watch something that includes Caracas, Jack Ryan Season 2, you're welcome. That shot no good from Johnson, and Medina does indeed get the rebound. Nice little timing on that one. Kistner wanted it. Left-handed drive, pulls up back to Medina, who wanted to drive himself. A lot of patience shown on both sides, and Black here, they need to get rid of it. They do. Lizelle Smith's left wing 3, left corner 3. That one goes.
3-point shots starting to fall on both sides now.
Oh, good pass inside. Great vision. Slightly tipped as he went up. Johnson's not going to get anything from that one. Rhodes is hobbling his way down the court. He'll end up pulling up from 3 after hobbling. Maybe keep him in the game. He almost hit it. But Chase White will end up trying to come in for him. Rhodes gets up. It actually went off the hand of Garmin, so he saved it unnecessarily. And unfortunately, Garmin ends up getting the pass from Ackerman for the bucket. 31-30.
Do not save the ball to Santana Bolden. That is free points we've found out so far
I think this is like
in the
third
first
time.
half.
It's like the 3rd or 4th time that's happened, where Bolden gets the ball from either team and then immediately either scores or lets his team score. That 3 from Kistner goes off the stanchion of the basketball hoop and will not go. Subs for both sides will come through and will slightly reset. And somebody forgot to stop the clock. There we go.
Oh, I'm down with a running clock. Again, one of the reasons why we love the G League.
I got a text from Tim during our first game, or maybe the second game, last week. Tim Miller, the guy who runs things here at Prepcasts, just giving me the lowdown on how things work in the G League, and I believe the exact words were, "Yeah, they're a little liberal with the running clock on that front." Unfortunately, as soon as we say that, they reset the clock 10 seconds higher. We don't get that front. They're also finally resetting the shot clock. Second time's the charm on that one.
Orange coach is looking over towards the scorer's table with a big old smile on his face.
Just making sure things get reset in his favor. Great rebound for Ackerman. He didn't hold on to it, though. Unfortunately, he also fouls. It's either him or it's Garmin in the corner. Either way, will be black ball. It was Garmin. Referees need to make sure they're correct in holding up 3-2 or 2-3 because we have both Jackson Garmin wearing 32 and Josep Romero wearing 23. I'm going to get confused myself.
And you know, with a roster of 6-7 guys out there, it's like, goodness, could we maybe avoid it?
Yeah.
But, hey, they want whatever number they want. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
There are not that many duplications, at least of any similarity.
No, but I've been impressed with the level of play that we've seen so far. You know, these look like guys that can absolutely contribute if their number was called on in a varsity experience, especially guys like what we've seen from Santana Bolden, like what we've seen from Chase White so far in this first half. Dynamic guards that are athletic and shine their brightest in transition, which is obviously what Greenville loves to do.
And when you're playing the style of basketball that the varsity team loves to exude in their own games at the JV level or in the G League here, it shows the coaching staff that should you be added to the roster, you will be an impactful part. You won't be added to a roster that plays quick in transition as a slow point guard and get very little playing time and or not play whatsoever and or just not fit. You'd be better off elsewhere maybe. Thank goodness for the transfer portal, but that doesn't apply here. It's a good note that a lot of the teams here in the G League, actually all 4 of them that I saw in the last week of play that same style. It also leads for a very fun broadcast because speed back and forth certainly makes things fun.
Good flow to it, not a ton of foul calls, a lot of fun.
Proper basketball. What I grew up with, 10 years ago.
What he grew up with 1 year ago.
Yeah, I know, right?
This young guy.
Here's Ackerman working on Smith. Drives himself left-handed. Does not get the bucket, but will get the benefit of the foul. Smith does not approve as he stands there disappointedly at the baseline. But Ackerman will shoot 2 regardless. I love how every time we bring up the fact they call very little, they call something.
It's inevitable, I mean, it's you talk about something. Hey, it's been great. How whatever.
Yep.
Then of course, the broadcaster jinx settles in. I will say I've had a few instances where I thought for sure the jinx was going to come into play and it hasn't. Be amazing if we had that level of control as broadcasters.
I like to think of myself as having that much control, just for my own personal well-being. Smith going for that jump. I don't know what in the world Drew Canada was trying to do. Maybe jump it to himself, if not trying to set a volleyball player somewhere. Either way, he doesn't get it. He gets fouled on his way up. And for a second, one of the referees was indicating he's shooting 2, and Chase White didn't get the memo, so he was getting ready for an inbound, and he walks away.
Yeah, I like that drive there from Chase White. The fact that we've talked about, hey, they're not calling a whole ton. Maybe gets away with a little bit of a push off, knowing that they're allowing some physical play out there. In showing that versatility to his game. Hey, I'm not just a shooter. I'm not just a guy who's gonna sneak to the basket and put up a sneaky shot. I can finish through some contact. I can carve out a little bit of room down in the paint if I have to as well.
That's the other really important thing about this league is where you're playing through contact at a lower level, you're going to be able to play through contact and get benefits of calls at higher level when they're more often calling them. That shot from Bolden doesn't go through the aforementioned contact. And you're also noticing where the referees are not calling as much on the body, but they will if you start hand checking or arm checking, and understandably so. It's kind of like soccer where if you use your body in a proper way and don't just run over somebody, you're not going to get called all the time. I say that as a soccer referee who has a game on Thursday. And if you're starting to shove people, maybe you'll get called against. There's Garmin trying something on a floater from point-blank range. Doesn't get it. Smith's rebound. Garmin gets it back without being out of bounds. Puts it into Johnson, who gets fouled on his drive. and he'll shoot 2 just the same.
All of a sudden, things getting awfully physical out here in the second half of the first, and really like what we've seen from Team Orange in their response from, they were down 19-12 to begin this game early on, hitting a few of those outside shots, but they've never lost focus on attacking the rim, and that's gotten them to the free throw line. They have had their fair share of free throw shots, had a couple missed on that last trip to the line, but I think it's going to really serve them well moving forward.
They're still playing through the aforementioned contacts. Johnson hits both of his free throws after his drive was cut short by an unjust foul. Here again is Rhodes. His drive tries to float it up and over. Medina just barely gets the rebound. He tries to throw it off a player, and Johnson tried to throw it over to Bolden. He throws it out of bounds. Again, wild sequence of events, all for it to end with an inbound.
Tell you what, Rhodes has been an intriguing player so far from what we've seen. He's knocked down a couple of three-point shots and proven that he's got kind of a nose for the rim as well, as snuck behind the defense a couple of times, just waiting on the block for the easy finish. And another example of those guys with that inside-out game on Team Black.
Ooh, that pass just a little errant. Picked up easily, but then turned over. Chase White should have a free shot. He took too long to go for it. Ackerman almost got the block, but good redirection from Chase White, just avoiding the Ackerman attempt. And he'll still get the bucket down low. What should have been a guarantee was still very much of a question, and Ackerman turns it back the other way, evening things up.
The defense of Medina has been the equalizer so far in this game, or I should say not the equalizer, the difference in this game. We've seen both teams make shots at a pretty high rate. Medina has been the one to force some turnovers and get some extra possessions.
Good little bit of vision there from Lizelle Smith. He gets it to White, who gets fouled on his way down. He'll shoot 2 more. Just kind of got hacked at by Bolden, who's up to 2 fouls himself. 5 fouls thus far, perpetrated by Black, 3 by Orange. Bonus is 7, double bonus 9. White misses his first.
And right now, if you're Team Orange, I think you've got to force somebody else to become a scorer other than Chase White. Chase White has really been the go-to option in a lot of different ways. Don't be afraid to bring that extra body. When that ball gets on the floor, dig hard on Chase White.
We've seen this a couple times, especially with Rhodes last week, where Rhodes, just as a freshman, has been doing a lot. Look for him to maybe excel should he get to the varsity level. And Bolden just tapping the ball off the rim, then backboard to himself, gets 2 rebounds and a bucket. That's what you call stat farming, kids. No, I'm kidding.
And he's going to be pretty close to a double-double at halftime, I would imagine.
Oh, you got a double-double last week. Was one of 4 players in their game to do so. The shot from Rhodes missed. Canada's rebound went down towards Kistner, and he got it through. Again, a little bit of miscommunication. Ackerman shot from well beyond the line. It was almost from the Mississippi River. It doesn't go, but it gives, again, Caleb Johnson his shot to put it back. 3-point game. Orange is keeping it close, and then they're leaving Rhodes out in the open. He gets assaulted, and a foul's not called. I think they just collided knees, and it's not good for Rhodes.
I think that's the first time I've ever seen a 40-foot underhanded pass.
I used to do it all the time. I would also do the 40, 50-foot overhand passes because I played baseball.
Okay, yeah.
So I would be, despite being a center, I'd be the inbounder on a lot of our full-court plays.
That one I've seen.
Yeah.
Not the underhand, and again.
Chase White, again, can't get it to go. Somehow getting it out to Bolden, and Medina overcommitted to the attempt. Easy layup for Bolden, 1-point game. White again, he's got Rhodes to his right, wants to go himself, actually gives it out to Canada, who takes a very well-contested 3. Again, it rims out. As soon as you said these home rims are really playing to the offense, it just kind of shuts down and bricks everybody. Here's Romero for the first time in a little while. He can't get it to go. Couple missed shots on each side, and Canada's going to break it out. Canada to White. White's drive, he kind of just threw it out of his own hand, but it was deflected, allegedly. So Black will keep it.
You know, number 4, Caleb Johnson, is making a huge difference defensively for Orange. Like we talked about Medina making that difference for Team Black. It's been that guy for Orange.
White, while hanging out in the lane for a couple seconds, luckily didn't get to 3 and does get it to go. Good breakout pass inside, somehow keeping his footing on the drive. Slowing down was Jackson Garman. He gets another layup. One of 2 6'4" players in the court. His teammate Caleb Johnson's the other.
I mean, you want to talk about a dime. The defender was pinned to his hip right there. That was led out in front only where his guy could get it.
Perfect quarterback. That's what you can ask for.
Would have made Josh Allen proud, his 6 touchdowns over the weekend.
I got a spiel about that in a second. Here's Bolden again trying to go for the reverse layup. Can't get it to go. My favorite tweet about Josh Allen over the weekend is he is the only player who can lose a game and have his MVP odds nearly double in his favor. He went from what I saw, it was like -175 to -400 in a loss. Albeit, he was a part of 6 touchdowns, including 3 rushing touchdowns. But funny nonetheless.
Special player.
He is a rushing machine. I think it was Colin Cowherd who said he was a top 5 rusher in the league, position irrelevant. I don't know if I'd go that far. He's still pretty good. That's a different sport, though. We'll get back to this one. Medina's 3-pointer can't go from the corner. Trying to drive through 2 players again was Josep Romero. He's dispossessed by Medina. Head fake for a pass. He goes for the backward reverse. I suppose they cancel out.
How beautiful was that? I mean, he uses a mid-air spin to protect the ball with his off shoulder. Just beautifully done by Medina.
Just inside the 3-point line. Ackerman couldn't get it to go. Not very much known for his 3-point prowess. White's drive, he puts it behind his back and off of his heel. And no save for Canada. Orange ball. And orange sub.
But again, it's Medina making those plays in transition when Orange thinks they're going to get a run-out, easy bucket in transition. Not so fast. Turnover going the other way. And then Black has been able to capitalize on a few occasions in that fashion.
High-scoring game on both sides. 85 points combined through our first 18 and change. Good dispossession by Medina again. You were talking about his defense being the difference maker. It's also been the reason they're in the lead. Pump fake pass into a layup for Torrey Kistner. He gets it to go. 47-40 inside 90 seconds. And great defense looking like a corner coming across the middle. Cooper DeJean who, says Drew Canada.
You know, we've seen Team Orange maybe a little aggressive with some of these passes. Really high risk, a few more turnovers. But the offense has been great when they've been able to get a shot up.
Honestly, I like the risk-taking, especially when you're looking to go against a good defense in transition. You have to take the speed in your favor. Romero using his off shoulder to protect the ball. Same way Medina did it, just a little less cool. He still gets the bucket.
Not as many style points, but effective nonetheless. They all count the same.
Yeah, I was about to say, style points unfortunately don't count in basketball for anything other than a highlight reel. White trying to set up the ISO. He's already taken 15 seconds off the shot clock. Puts it inside to Smith at the elbow, towards the block, throws it up, and one from Lizelle Smith. How in the world did he get that one to go up, much less down in the right way? And Smith will make it a 3-point play if he can hit this free throw. What a shot.
That was impressive.
Of all the things you can do in basketball, that is not something you're supposed to be able to do. Let's put it that way. Smith's free throw to try and make it a 3-point play. He can't do it. Either way, good shot. 49-42. About a 17-second difference. Shot and game clock. Ackerman, another left-handed, make it right-handed layup. As he turned his body for it, he gets that one through.
That was tough, showing off the strength.
Again, important if you want to show off the varsity squad. Canada drove, but he got whacked on his way up. He'll shoot 2. Shot clock will go off at the end of this play.
Been a fun first half between these two teams. For Team Black, just a little bit more complimentary basketball. A little bit better on the defensive side for Team Orange continue to be really impressed by Santana Bolden, but want to continue to shout out Caleb Johnson. He's doing all the little things that it takes to win.
Off the front of the rim. Shot clock will not shut off because it was still offensive possession after free throws. Smith tried to get that one to go. He can't. Now the shot clock will disable. Here again is Jesus Madero. He kicks it out to Bolden. His three-pointer no good. Ackerman gets the rebound. He's trying to drive himself. Decides to turn around and go for the step back. He can't get that one to go either. With 6 seconds, they've got a breakout pass all the way down to White. Wants to take it himself. He will on the opposite side of the rim. 2 seconds and 1. That'll do it on the first half. 52-44 in our first half of play. Black leads, but it's been about as fairly close a game as you can hope for in the G League here in Greenville. You got to say, appreciation of the defense. This could be like 75-65 if they did not step up.
Yeah, no question about it. We've seen these teams playing hard, trying to get back in defensive transition because we know both of these teams are going to get out and run with the basketball. So credit to the effort that we've seen. Now, can they do it for another half? That is the ultimate question. And something tells me that we're going to continue to see some really good basketball. But again, for Team Orange, got to find a way, and I know it's way easier said than done, to contain Chase White. For Team Black, continue to push the pace in this one. And I'll tell you what, Medina continues to make all the big plays on both ends.
So now we are very lucky to have live stats here at the G League. So before we send things to a break, we'll run through things for you. Black thus far, 21 for 43 from the field, including 6 of 23 from three-point range. Orange, 19 of 41, including only 2 of 14. One of those from Bolden, the other from Romero. 4 of 6 from the line for Orange, 4 of 8 for Black. No real difference there. Rebounds are 19 to 22, favoring Orange. Fouls are even, 5 and 5. Obviously, the point total, 52-44. 9 assists total for Black, including 3 from White, 2 from Kistner and Canada, and 1 from both Medina and Lizelle Smith. 7 for Orange, 4 of those coming from Santana Bolden, 2 from Romero, and only 1 from Jesus Madero. Couple turnovers for each side, 6 and 5, favoring Black. Technically, they've got 5 on that front, but steals have also favored them as well. So they're on the front side in terms of the plus-minus and obviously in terms of the score. We'll take a break, maybe talk about the first half a little bit more at the tail end of this one. When we come back, we'll see how that aforementioned second half plays out here on the Panther Sports Network.
Future Panthers, we want you to experience the difference at Greenville University. Schedule a visit today and see what life will be like for you at GU. You can have a personalized visit focusing on what's most important to you. You can meet with a professor, sit in on a class, eat at the dining commons, and attend chapel. Schedule your campus visit today. We can't wait to see you.
Hey Panther fans, this is Tom Ackerman. I'm the Vice President at Greenville University. Thank you for joining us. We want you to partner with us and join the Orange and Black. This is our Athletics Excellence Fund. Your donation is an investment in the lives of students. Partner with us and help us keep Panther Nation alive.
This is the good life. This is the good life. Out in the sunshine, nothing but good times. This is the good life. This is the good life.
Are you a Greenville University alum? If so, we want to connect with you. Follow us on social media, subscribe to our weekly e-newsletter, and share your personal and professional accomplishments that we will print in the next issue of The Record. Get ready, get set, register for the annual Panther 5K this homecoming weekend at Greenville University, Saturday, October 19th at 8 a.m. Runners and walkers of all ages are invited to participate in the annual Panther 5K. Awards will be presented to various age groups. The Children's Fun Run on Scott Field starts at 8 a.m. and the 5K kicks off at 8:30. Register today and we'll see you there. Lady Panthers, we want to hear your stories of how playing at Greenville has impacted your life. Your story will be shared on the new Legacy of Women in Sports wall on the Greenville University campus. Future Panthers, we want you to experience the difference at Greenville University. Schedule a visit today and see what life will be like for you at GU. You can have a personalized visit focusing on what's most important to you. You can meet with a professor, sit in on a class, eat at the dining commons, and attend chapel. Schedule your campus visit today. We can't wait to see you.
Hey Panther fans, this is Tom Ackerman. I'm the Vice President at Greenville University. Thank you for joining us. We want you to partner with us and join the Orange and Black. This is our Athletics Excellence Fund. Your donation is an investment in the lives of students. Partner with us and help us keep Panther Nation alive.
This is the good life. This is the good life. Out in the sunshine, nothing but good times. This is the good life. This is the good life.
We joyfully invite you to Homecoming Weekend 2024, a special time to refresh, renew, and reconnect with your Greenville University family, October 17th through 19th. Come and experience reunions, varsity games, alumni games, the Panther 5K, award ceremonies, and see what's new on your favorite campus. We can't wait to see you there, and go Panther! Get ready, get set, register for the annual Panther 5K this homecoming weekend at Greenville University, Saturday, October 19th at 8 a.m. Runners and walkers of all ages are invited to participate in the annual Panther 5K. Awards will be presented to various age groups. The Children's Fun Run on Scott Field starts at 8 a.m. and the 5K kicks off at 8:30. Register today and we'll see you there.
GLeague basketball this evening continues as Black leads Orange through our first 20 minutes of play, 52-44. For all of you looking for women's basketball, that is tomorrow. They take on Rose Holman here at 5:30, right back on the exact same channel. Just make sure you update your link for the game itself. Honestly, fairly even game, all things considered. Turnovers fairly even. Same thing with rebounds, points, and shots. Basically the exact same. I think the one core difference we've seen, you talked about it, 3-pointers. 4 extra 3-pointers made, and by the way, 9 more 3-pointers taken by Black through our first 20.
Yeah, and seen some good strokes from the players on that Orange side of things. The shots just haven't fallen, but like we've talked about all game, their strength has come in the paint. When they have attacked the rim, good things have happened. If they have the discipline to come out and continue to do that in the second half, I think those outside shots will open up when it's late, and that's going to be the path to come back for Team Orange. Now, on the other side for Team Black, I mean, you just love to see the balance
Yeah.
of what they've gotten so far in this game. You got your kind of star leading scorer in Chase White, and Torrey Kistner, I mean, really had an outstanding first half as well. Rather quietly goes 6 of 11 from the floor, and from inside the arc, he made 6 of his 6 shots. His only misses came from the three-point line. So continue to get that guy in close as well, and good things will happen for Team Black. But again, Sebastian Medina is the guy who's been that X factor for me, stepping up, making big defensive plays, and that's the reason, in my opinion, why we see Team Black on top to begin the second half.
So Black's biggest lead is equal to their biggest scoring run, 8 for each. Biggest lead for Orange was 2. That was 4 minutes into the first. Their biggest scoring run was 6. That was 3 minutes into the first. We've had 2 lead changes. 3 separate times we've been tied. 18 minutes were spent with the lead for Black, only about 30 seconds for Orange. Couple more stats I want to go into when we get a few seconds. Head fake for Bolden, make it 19 points. No, sorry, now 17 points for Bolden to go alongside his 7 rebounds and 4 assists. Should he keep things up, he's well on his way to a triple-double, much less just a double. And Chase White trying to set things himself. He gives it up to Canada, and his jumper, he gets slashed at the free throw line. He'll shoot 2. So speaking of the stats I wanted to go over. Points from turnovers, 10 to 6 favoring Black. From the paint, 30 to 32 favoring Orange. Second chance points, somehow Orange only has 6. I feel like it's a few more than that, but we'll see down the line. 8 for Black through our first half. 12 points off a fast break for Black, only 6 for Orange, and 8 points from the bench for Black, 6 for Orange. But you can't really attribute all that much to points off the bench when you have 5 starters and 6 total players per team. See that what you will. But again, that's only the first 20 minutes. We've still got a whole 19 and a half left to go. Dry for Romero. 2 separate players hit it off the back glass. But a miscommunication in terms of coverage leads to a mismatch. Here's Johnson trying to defend White, who just kicks it out. 3-pointer for Kistner from the corner. He gets it early in this second half. Fairly even, but the 3-pointer still the difference for Black. Makes it our largest lead of the game, as a matter of fact. 9 thus far, and Bolden cuts that one down within 8 seconds. Again, the Greenville style of basketball, wasting no time getting down the court. Kistner got it up, but 3 separate Orange players got up for the rebound, and they'll get it the other way. To the top, shot from Madero, nowhere close. Fortunately, Johnson again is there for the rebound and the putback.
Yeah, I've been really impressed by Caleb Johnson in this game. He works hard, and his motor is really impressive. That's something that the Greenville coaches, I'm sure, have taken note of and appreciate about his game.
White, he's got a slightly moving screen courtesy of Anjuan Rhodes, and off his front leg somehow still gets it up but can't do much with it. And now here again is Bolden trying to work on Rhodes behind the back on the drive. Smooth as butter on the layup, and he cuts it down to a 3-point game.
But how about, there's that man again, Caleb Johnson with the rebound in the outlet to begin that play.
Oh, and he gets by Chase White as well. He'll look to bring things back. Doesn't go for the stylish dunk. And you could see down the left side of your screen, Tyson Ackerman wanted him to go for it. He doesn't, but the points are just as good. It's a 1-point game. It was 9 points a minute and 10 seconds ago.
It was, and now all of a sudden the defensive intensity is really stepped up for Greenville. And like we talked about, they've come out in the second half and said, hey, Chase White, it's not going to be as easy as it was for you in the first half. They're collapsing bodies down on him, and they are putting that big body of Caleb Johnson on him more often than not. And he's forced him into a couple of uncomfortable shots, a situation where wasn't sure really where he wanted to go with the ball. And now all of a sudden, some of the pressure has been taken off of Santana Bolden.
Yeah.
He gets a big steal near midcourt, and all of a sudden the momentum has completely flipped in this game. And when you see teams play as fast as this Greenville team does, things can change so quickly. And we've seen it already in less than 2.5 minutes of play.
I mean, he's gotten 6 points in this second half already, if not 8. I unfortunately do not have the live stats readily accessible to me. However, we'll get them at the end of the game just to wrap things up. Either way, he should be at or around 20 points. He's got an outlet pass. He's gotten a steal into a breakaway. Needless to say, he's been a one-man wrecking crew with very much help behind him, but sometimes he just doesn't need it. Here he pulls up from 3, trying to get a heat check. He finally does. The cold from the court gets him. Rhodes saves it, goes into the bleachers, somehow stays on his feet and doesn't injure himself. And now the Madero outlet pass. There's the 3 from Johnson, which is just not going to go, but Garmin gets called over the back on the rebound. Kind of just went right over Drew Canada. If there was a dictionary definition of over the back and a picture alongside it, that probably would be there.
I love these last couple of shots. I've been ready to say the bench is about ready to explode for Orange, and the bench is Tyson Ackerman. He is the whole bench.
Hey, he's got the energy to match an 11 or 12 person deep bench, so credit where credit is due. We appreciate him nonetheless. Drive down for Medina. He wanted to take it himself. He's like, wait, no, I see Anjuan Rhodes. I'll just hand it over.
That was beautiful.
Vision's a big part of this Greenville style of play. Speed, outlet, speed, three-pointer, more speed. That's about how things are wrapped up here. Decent steal, but unfortunately doesn't keep the ball in bounds. Speaking of Rhodes, he'll go out after diving into the bleachers, understandably so. He's just been kind of injury-prone in this game. So Bolden the trigger. He'll quickly get into Johnson, and he forgets to step on the court. Here's Garmin. Again, awkward jumper that he's got. Jump ball on both sides. And Bolden went for a dunk and missed the rim entirely. Unfortunately, he did so, A, after the play was over, B, after the jump ball was called, and C, after he lost possession. So all of that meant nothing.
How do we feel about no jump balls in the G League? Just let them wrestle it out.
As much as I would thoroughly love that, it would get somebody into fighting somebody else, and it's probably not a great idea.
See, the reason why I say that is I don't think these guys would fight each other. Same team.
Yeah, you'd think that, but I've seen crazy things happen.
Oh, I have too.
Who the foul is called on there is my real question. That one's Bolden again. Third foul call on Orange already in this half, assuming they properly reset the foul counter, and I've been paying attention. Yeah, they did. That's a third foul call for them in the first 4 minutes. And I believe, if my brainless math is tracking properly, it's also the second, make it third foul on Bolden as well, so keep that in mind. Here's White. He goes for a weird pass to the corner. It gets there. Smith hits nothing but the backboard. And they call Chase Smith for a push in the back. Chase White, not Chase Smith. I was caught between him and Lizelle. My bad. Here's Romero with Ackerman now in the game. Trying to get it to Bolden. Somehow it gets through the hands of White, and Bolden takes the shot from the corner. He won't get it, and a nice tip there from Kistner gets it to White. 3-on-3. He's got Smith to his right, and he goes behind the back for the pass. Nice roll in for Lizelle Smith, and a steal now for Medina. He'll get it out to Chase White, who wants a 3. He'll hesitate way too long, almost go the second time, and now he gets it to Medina. A couple different opportunities for him to take, and he thinks better of it on multiple occasions. And will now reset another attempt. This one well off and hits the shot clock.
Yeah, shot clock got down to 13. Felt like 4 possessions had gone by there.
Oh, my goodness. And now Drew Canada trying to strip the ball away. He will, and he'll get it out as Chase White on the drive. The somehow floater doesn't go. And another defensive bit of prowess for Black keeps them on the proper side of the court.
Well, it was the energy of Orange that gave them that big burst, and now Black has come back with a response.
And so too has White. That being the last name, not the color. Chase White with the reverse drive gets it through. Kistner's going to be called for a reach-in foul. And he's like, on me? Yeah, on you. Sorry, dude.
Caught him with the body.
Slight hip check. Wrong winter sport. Bolden will get it. 7-point game favoring his opponents. Johnson wants to take it himself. He does and gets it to roll in.
This man's tough. I love him.
Again, also helps in your 6'4". Nobody else in the court top 6'3".
But, you know, he plays even bigger than that.
Yeah.
And I love his commitment to both ends.
Good vision again from Kistner. He'll get it down to Drew Canada, who quickly lays it in. The 6'1" freshman from Monito, Illinois. I hope I said Monito correctly. I hope it's not Monito. I could be wrong. I apologize if I am. There's Ackerman down himself. He'll get that one through. Trading layups, now it seems, but still in a very quick fashion. I don't think the shot clock's dropped below 10 seconds more than once in this second half. White with the spin, even got pinned by Romero, but he keeps his right hand free. But now here's Bolden, 3-on-2 for Orange. Bolden could take it himself. He thinks better, puts it down inside. 3 separate players fighting for the ball, and Johnson gets the jumper. Luckily, the jump ball is now favoring Orange, so they'll keep possession. Here's Johnson off the inbound. He wants to take it again. He'll get it this time around. You talked about him playing taller than he looks, if not taller than he's statted at. He plays like he's 6'6", 6'7".
Yeah, he's strong. He's strong, and everything he does is to the rim. There's no hesitation, no question what he's going to do.
Off the top corner of the backboard, still technically in play. Chase White from a few feet beyond the arc just circles out and around. Can't get that one to go through, and Rhodes, after his missed 3 and Chase White's missed 3, gets the board and the putback. White is called for the block or the reach-in or a couple other things. All of them would probably be applicable. Either way, his fault, his first foul of the half, but that is his 3rd of the game. Unfortunately, for a lot of these players who may be a little bit more aggressive, this quick style of play does lead to a lot more interactions in play throughout the course of the game. Thus, those who foul more often are caught in foul trouble more often. Nice steal from Bolden. He's got a 2-on-2 if they hurry. Drive in. They call it foul on Lizelle Smith. You could go 50-50 on that one. Either way it is, and it will be called in the shooting motion. So Bolden gets to go to the line.
Yeah, I think that's a good call right there. Antoine Bolden making a big difference for Orange in this second half. This is a couple of times now we have seen him heating up the ball carrier, just trying to get the ball across midcourt. I mean, that's tough to do. Santana Bolden.
Anquan Bolden, of course, the former Ravens.
Oh, I gave an Anquan Bolden, huh? Subconscious Anquan Bolden.
The famous 49ers and Baltimore Ravens wide receiver.
I mean, that was a tough play to the rim, much like the physical Anquan Bolden. That's where that came from.
That was great. That was great. Ooh. Oh, what a drive for Kistner down the left side of the block. He'll get that one through.
Too many NFL references for one basketball broadcast probably today.
Oh, a nice little head fake from Romero, but it gets stolen by Kistner. White's looking for a breakout pass. He won't find it, but look for Rhodes just behind everything. They won't need to. Nobody really played active defense on Kistner, who's the first player to get any team above 70 points. It's, again, a 9-point game matching their game-high lead. Ackerman wants to cut that one down by a third. He will. Gets a three-pointer to go himself.
That's a big shot.
On some occasions, you can cut things down a lot quicker than you would otherwise. Three-pointers are a big help in doing that. Head fake for White. He now drives, wants to kick it out. It'll somehow still get to Antoine Rhodes. His drive gets it to go. Rhodes re-extends the lead, but it's still back and forth basketball, as is the G League way. In the shooting motion, Bolden will get it to go. And one as he drives. And another chance for a three-point play for Orange.
And one, Santana Bolden with the tough play inside again. I mean, look at the versatility of this young man's game. Stepping out, the three-point shot really wasn't quite falling for him in that first half. Yeah. He said, okay, I've got the adjustment. I'm going to take it strong to the rack.
He was 14% from three in the first half, 1 for 7. Not a great number, but hey, you might as well take a lot of shots because eventually they're going to land, especially with how many different opportunities each team is getting. Sebastian Medina, great drive, better lay-in. He gets it over 2 separate Orange defenders. And of the, say, top 5 most physical and active players on the court, I think Orange has at least 3 of them, if not 4. Bolden alongside Johnson and maybe even Romero.
I'm with you on that. Medina's in that group as well.
And White's probably the last one to get involved, if not here, Anjuan Rhodes, his pass into Medina. Just kind of reset around the three-point line. He will, now with Lizelle Smith on the right wing. To Chase White again. He wants to drive, and he will again. Somehow over the outside of Caleb Johnson. He's got a 3-inch height difference, and yet still couldn't use any of it because of the proper body usage of Chase White.
It's the way he's able to fight off that hand with his offhand, non-dribbling hand, the left hand, and then just jump at an awkward moment for the defender to try to time it.
Crossover into a step-back three. Won't go for Bolden, who still cannot seemingly get those shots from beyond the arc to land. Last week he was automatic from distance. Can't get it this time around. Here's Rhodes, his three-pointer. Still the line drive shot. That one less successful, and Medina gets caught over-committing. It's a 5-on-4. Orange has some time to work with it as well. Ackerman with only one hand to work with. Johnson gets the rebound, kicks it outside. The shot won't go, and Black keeps it in here with Medina. He'll go for the pass inside. He wanted Kistner, couldn't get it there. Now a 4-on-2. Orange has forever to set this one up. They will. Garmin gets it through. 5-point game.
I mean, this guy, Caleb Johnson, just doesn't get tired. The way the Frisco, Texas native is running the floor has made just a tremendous impact for Team Orange.
That's the other thing about this league. It's where if you have 6 players on the court, you have no subs to pick things up for you. Your cardio gets worked on very well in these league games. Nice drive by Bolden. They wanted the and one. They won't find it, justifiably so, in my opinion, with how they've called it thus far.
Well,
3-point game.
I'll tell you something, too, partner, that I've got Team Orange going down the stretch in this one. As the legs get tired, that shot gets harder to hit from the outside. The free throws become a little more testy down the stretch. I think this physical nature from Team Orange, if they can keep it up, I think Caleb Johnson can. It's a question of if the rest of his buddies can give him some help down low as well.
I think it's also realizing where your strengths lie. Apparently for Kistner, it's not in free throws.
Well, I was telling you, the free throws get a little testy. Those legs get tired late in the game.
What is that, the opposite of a commentator's curse? Just amazing foresight from the broadcast booth? Or the broadcast bleachers, as we've got here set
You
up?
shoot enough shots, you'll have some air balls, you'll have some nothing but net.
I have a lot more of the former than I do the latter, unfortunately.
Oh, don't play yourself short.
Here's Bolden. Again, that physicality working in their favor. Great outlet pass into Johnson. And a 1-point game for Orange. Sometimes it is the difference in cardio down the stretch. And that's one thing that varsity coaches look for in players at this level. It is, can they keep up with the pace of play, especially when they don't have subs? Because when you've got subs, you'll be that much more involved and that much more an impactful player in the later stages of play. Here again is White. His drive, good. Re-extends to a 3-point game. But again, here's Orange. Just quick drive. They want the counterattack in quick succession. They will find Johnson's drive. Little finger roll through. 1-point game once more.
Wow, showing off a little skill and technicality. You know, everything so far has been like your quintessential YMCA League basketball player from Caleb Johnson.
Ooh.
Look at White.
The 6'1 senior from St. Louis gets that one through. Ackerman wants to pull up from 3, but he's double-teamed. Who are they going to call it for? They will keep it with Orange on this side. The referees gave each other a look of, I have no idea, and they guessed Orange. I suppose that's about right. So Madero will exit.
God bless these refs dealing with this pace. Running up and down nonstop.
So I ref soccer this weekend in Kansas City. I had 9 games in 3 days. I hit 80,000 steps, 45 miles minimum. I think it was more than that.
That's more running than I want to do the rest of my life.
I've got 9 more games between Thursday and Saturday.
Good luck to you.
Yeah, it's fun. I enjoy it. It keeps my cardio going. Same with these players. Here's Medina. His drive. He kicks it out, actually. Lizelle Smith trying to extend the lead. Can't do it, but it is off of Jackson Garmins. They will keep the ball.
Might have caught a break there.
Yeah. Whether it's a break in the angle of officiating or a break in just the fact that they keep the ball, either way, beneficial.
Every time I think Team Orange is going to start making a comeback, Chase White's got an answer, and here's Medina.
Sebastian Medina has one himself. The Spanish speaker working on the Spaniard. And he re-extends the lead to 6 points. Johnson with the most telegraphed through the legs dribble the world has ever seen. Easily stolen away, and now Bolden gets one himself. Kistner wanted the foul, he won't get it. 5 on 3. But a kicked ball.
He was avoiding a double dribble, and at first the defenders didn't realize what was going on, but after the pointing and the eye contact, eventually they picked up on it, and the little kick ball from the offensive player got called there in the end.
It's the similar fashion of trying to avoid a hand pass in hockey, where somebody else has to play it before you can do so. White gets that one up, but he can't get it through, and Rhodes stepped out before he went for the jump and save, thus out of bounds, and henceforth Orange. Couple different bits of chaos on each side. We've seen a pretty entertaining game on both sides as well.
Need Caleb Johnson to get back to that YMCA style here.
As soon as he went for the style points, he kind of lost the points themselves. When you're trying to spin move into somebody, it doesn't help when they're actively in your way, and it is absolutely not a blocking foul. Good spatial awareness by Smith to kind of just stand there, and he ended up throwing it off of Bolden's hand for a black ball.
Been watching a little too much Santana Bolden and Chase White in this game. Those two guys, my goodness.
Here's Rhodes. He wanted the 3, still wants the 3. Oh, great crossover in front of his own screen. Wants the shot and the foul. He'll get both. Rhodes with the left hand well away from where the layup should have been. He still gets it through. And he'll get the opportunity for another 3-point play. 5th foul on Orange thus far in the half, and Rhodes will indeed finish the 3-point play. Here's Bolden trying to shore up that lead a little more. He will at least put his team within 7 and hit the 80-point mark in the same motion. Rhodes again. Dangerous shooter from well beyond the arc. Garmin's given him a little bit too much space, in my personal opinion. And White's now getting the same. He'll end up pulling up from distance. He can't get it. And Rhodes just barely out of bounds and just barely out of position trying to go for the rebound. He won't get either.
Yeah, that was a big defensive possession for Orange coming down the stretch here. Started to get in that danger zone where Black had a chance to push it to double digits. A stop, another bucket. Can they get another one? Oh. Bolden has the answer.
He's just driving through everybody. Moses in the Red Sea with the lane himself. Nice little head fake for Canada. He just gets stepped into. Easy foul call. And that's Johnson.
Yeah, and Bolden is coming downhill so hard. Yeah. I mean, the ability to get that shot to fall, so difficult, and he's made it look rather easy.
A 5-point game, Chase White is the trigger. He'll get it to Canada. Wanted to drive, almost lost his pivot foot, but luckily is only his moving foot. Smith to the corner. Rhodes three-pointer, too strong. Canada wants the rebound, he won't get it. Romero to Smith, hit out of his hands, will stay with Orange. Just barely hit out of his own hands by Chase White, and chaos on both sides does keep the game at a 5-point click. And I mean, in the last 4 or 5 minutes, we have not seen a lot of scoring. It has finally slowed down and had the defense pick up. At least the scoring is slowed down. The game very much not so much. Into Garmin. Basically a one-handed standing jumper. Can't even call it a jumper at that point. Still goes.
6-0 run.
White himself. He's got a mismatch. He'll throw it into Smith, and he gets absolutely hacked. But so too does the ball, and the ball stays with Black. They will not get the foul. They wanted it. Just a block. Somehow Romero does not keep the ball. Medina, his drive, he won't get that one either. Ackerman's active defense, he has to step up again. He will here. He does get the ball, but he absolutely slashed the hand beforehand, pun not intended, and Chase White gets to shoot too.
Yeah, that's a tough one there for Orange. Had a chance to have a possession where they could have tied it with a three-pointer, and instead what's gotten them back into this game, some tough-nosed defense causing a couple of turnovers, a turnover themselves. And, you know, this is interesting for Black shooting the ball decently well from range in the first half. They've struggled from the free throw line all night long. That could come back to bite them.
They were 50% shooters in the first half. That's about where they are right now. Bolden gets it. It's 3-on-3 basketball in the front court. Here's Bolden, who gets fouled by Rhodes. Rhodes with an apology handshake. Bolden not so pleased, but he'll still oblige.
Yeah, Santana Bolden has just kind of flipped a switch, said, hey, it's my turn to take things over, turn it on.
And miss some free throws.
Yeah, that's the thing. Got to make these huge free throws down the stretch. In the last 4.5 minutes, you can bet there's going to be some big clutch ones on both sides.
If I told you Orange was the best free throw shooting team of the 4 Greenville teams, would you believe me?
So far from what we've seen, they've been all right.
60.3%.
That's not all right.
It's 60% even for White. They're 42 of 70, 48.4 for Gray, and 50% even for Black, as has been the case basically here in this game. However, if teams would just hit like 70% of their free throws, we'd see completely different standings numbers because of how often teams get fouled. Head fake for Bolden. He ends up picking the ball up himself, but luckily it was deflected by a teammate. He gets fouled on the way through, and the three-point shot is good. First time we're seeing an opportunity for a 4-point play from Santana Bolden in the corner, and he, should he finally hit a free throw, could make this a 1-point game.
Wow. That was incredible stuff. Shades of, you know, how many times do we see Kobe Bryant get that little roll along the baseline, shooting that exact kind of shot? That was beautiful.
And he hits the free throw. 4-point play makes it a 1-point game, and we're inside 4 minutes as well. Rhodes wanted it. Good shake off the screen by Romero. He's playing this active defense. So too is Garmin, with Kistner right in front of him. Kistner at the outlet pass, easy to Canada. His shot well long, hits nothing but hydrogen and oxygen. And a timeout called here for Black, understandably so, with a shot clock at 18.
I don't think that shot clock should have reset.
I didn't know it reset. If it did, it should not have.
Yeah, referee telling the table as much that it did not hit rim, so the clock at 12 now.
So not a timeout. They were clarifying the shot clock, which equally makes sense. And now with 8 to shoot, here's Medina doing just that. He does hit the rim. Shot clock should reset, and it now does. And White fully resets the play from well above the top of the key. He's working on Johnson. His drive, he had no way to shoot that one. Good body movement by Johnson, keeping himself very much involved. Back out to White with 5 to shoot. He'll take it, and he'll hit it. Make it a 5-point, make it a 4-point game once more. I can count, I promise.
Well, you know, if you're Caleb Johnson there and you're guarding Chase White, you cannot help. You have to deny ball. Yeah. You cannot let that ball come back to Chase White late shot clock situation.
So Drew Canada gets called for something. I'm not really sure what it was. Bolden's still fairly comfortable with the ball, but either way, it is called. Shot clock resets to 20. And notably, Orange is now putting Black in the bonus. They've got 7 fouls. So keep that in mind. Everything from now on for Black will be 1-and-1s.
Orange coach not happy with that shot selection. Wants them to go to the rim, and I agree.
I mean, when you look at their numbers, they were, again, 14% from beyond the arc in the first half. You just shouldn't be taking those shots. Foul called on the inside. They'll go 1-and-1 on that opportunity, and that bonus play now completely different.
And here's where these free throws become absolutely crucial. This front end, incredibly important.
So for all you keeping track at home, the stats have been just about dead on with the team stats thus far. 50% free throw shooting team. It was a dead even number at the start of the day, by the way. And through the first half, it was just the same. Here's Chase White trying to turn back the clock, and he does not do so. 50-50 again on free throws. Here's Romero, his left wing three, just a little strong. Great rebound by Ackerman. Back to Romero, second chance opportunity. Make it a second chance three. He can't get that one either. White tips it to himself and now drives just the same. 3-on-2 for Black if they hurry. White wanted it. Instead, he'll give it to Rhodes, who wants to drive himself but can't get that one to go either. And Johnson, now with himself, he gets it down to Ackerman. Ackerman's three-pointer finally will go. 2-point game with Orange streaking back into play.
I mean, you got Bolden wide open underneath the rim. No, I'm going to take this three and just splash it.
Okay, I've seen Tyson Ackerman take those three-pointers. He doesn't miss those. That's the benefit of proper shot selection. Canada's drive, he gets it up and over, plus the foul. Just outside 90 seconds remaining in this one, and a possible three-point play on another Caleb Johnson foul puts Drew Canada at a shot of another.
This game has gotten exciting all of a sudden down the stretch here. This is fun. We're in for a great finish.
Canada will hit it. I mean, the only reason it's gotten more exciting is because there's less time on the clock. A lot more stakes added to seemingly every play. Ackerman from well beyond the arc. He hits it. What is that from Tyson Ackerman? I told you he doesn't miss. I wasn't lying. He was 10-plus feet beyond the arc. Somebody bring out a tape measure.
Just a little 30-foot layup.
Chase White wants to take it himself. He'll do so, but he can't hit the shot, and Rhodes had it pulled out of his hands on the way up, and they got all ball, at least according to the officials. Drive again for Bolden, ties the game at 97. It's the final 60 seconds of play, and we're at a dead even heat.
I mean, has Orange led this entire
Once
game?
For 30 seconds. They've led once. And unfortunately, here's an opportunity for Black to lead again for all those Orange fans at home. Medina gets fouled on his drive, and Rhodes will step off more than likely for the remainder of at least regulation. Overtime is still very much a possibility.
Tyson Ackerman igniting this crowd.
What's the conversation here? They're trying to clarify who was fouled. It was absolutely Sebastian Medina. And he'll again have a shot at 1-and-1s. It is now double bonus time for Black every time they are fouled.
You have got to box out here. Got to box out.
Medina misses it. Rebound's good for Garmin. And a tie game and a 20-second difference between the shot and the game clock. Orange has a shot to take the lead. Here's Medina. Nobody talks to Bolden again. Medina from behind. Strips it clean. Wants to take it himself. And he'll do so, but it's blocked again by Josep Romero at the block. 25 seconds in the shot clock. Ball still controlled here by Black.
Oh, man. This is fun stuff.
Somebody forgot to clock the player who was still sitting at about the free throw line. Chase White now wanting to take it himself. 14-second difference shot in game. White working on Bolden. Basically the two difference makers thus far. And Bolden, he fouls one. He may have just fouled out. Is that number 5 for him? It's at least number 4. Nobody's giving a notification from the scorer's table. That is foul number 4.
Double bonus now.
White makes the first one. Would have helped if they were the double bonus for the previous play. But ironically enough, they got the ball back anyway. 98-97 Black leads. White trying to make it back-to-backs. He does. 2-point game. Shot clock is turned off. A three-pointer would give them the lead, but nobody's playing defense on Jackson Garmin, who is tied it back himself. As of right now, the official scoreboard reads 1 point less for Black, but that's wrong.
Should be 99 all.
That's what we have. That's what we'll go with. White with the shot clock off. He's got 10 seconds to try and end it himself. He wants to drive. He will. He'll kick it out to Drew Canada, try and take the lead. He does not do so. Ackerman has it shuffled between his feet. He wants to shoot, and he gets fouled on the way up. Wait a second. They will not call it a shooting foul because he's still in the backcourt. but, they should put time back on the clock for an inbound.
There should be 1 second left. 6 team fouls on Black. Should be a sideline inbound from about 60 feet away. I would venture to say maybe a second and a half is what they're going to put on the clock here. And so with a second and a half, Daniel, you have time to run a little play, catch the ball around that three-point line, maybe get off another pass to the interior, or take a dribble and get another shot off. And now a lot of discussion going on here down at the table.
So our official scoreboard says 99 all. The live stats iPad directly below your screen to the right says 99-98. The official score should be 99 all after Chase White hit both of his free throws. We're looking for clarification on both sides. The official is correct in saying it should be 99-99. Chase White did hit both of his free throws. That's the conversation they're having right in front of us. And they should be saying that we're going to overtime, and they are. They will not say that there was time left on the clock when the foul happened. So regulation expires, and for the second week in a row, our first game of the day is headed to OT.
And Orange's coach is over here wondering why did they not get a chance to inbound that basketball after the foul was called? Looked like that foul was called with time still left on the clock in regulation, but they're just going to send us to overtime.
Trying to clarify what the score is, then whether there was time left on the clock, then what day of the week it is, and whether or not this is still 2024. I'm still not sure.
Yeah, day of the week and what year it is might be the shakiest at this point.
So in 40 minutes of play, it's 99-99. We have not decided a winner just yet. And Orange wins the tip for the second time in the game. Romero wanted the three-pointer, good step over. He gets the drive, but he gets denied by Lizelle Smith. Ball will stay with Orange, but they've only got 17 to shoot. Talk about a fun game. Inside 5 minutes now in OT. I'm pretty sure Johnson's foot was out of bounds, but I didn't have the greatest angle. Referee's looking right down the line.
Get Johnson some more post touches.
Here one is. He'll kick it back out to Bolden. His three-pointer from well beyond the arc. If he took half a step forward, that's a swish. Because he doesn't, maybe a little bit of confidence, if not arrogance, costs him. So too does it cost him possession. Black keeps it.
But you know what? That's a great look. You
Yeah.
go inside out. He's got his eyes on the rim the entire time, right off the catch. High percentage look.
So 4:25 on the inbound to White. He'll hold on to it and actually take a three-pointer himself. High arcer doesn't go. Medina the last one to touch it out of bounds. Nobody scored in the first 45 seconds of play here. But in 45 minutes overall, after overtime ends, we'll hopefully have a winner. Last time we saw OT, it was a 2-point difference and a 115-113 banger of an opening match of the day. And then we got a mercy rule in the second game. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. Here's Romero, his drive over Lizelle Smith. He gets the bucket and the foul. Smith wanted his second block in about 30 seconds. He does not get the benefit that time around.
Every time Orange has decided to take it to the rim, with the exception of Tyson Ackerman, something good has happened. You know, Ackerman's had that three-point prowess late, some clutch shots down the stretch of regulation. But the rest of this team at their best when they're attacking.
So basically, Ackerman, if he's got a wide-open three-pointer, should take it. Everybody else should drive or pass. That's basically been what Orange should be doing. They don't thus far. White well overshoots that one. Now an outlet pass all the way to Bolden, who's got a wide-open layup opportunity. Lizelle Smith decides he does not want to go overzealous, and a timeout called here by Black just inside the 4-minute mark of OT.
Well, it's interesting. You know, really it's felt like this entire game has been so intense. Now it feels like for Black a little bit of let off the gas here to open up overtime.
Yeah.
Both teams were a little cold from the field, but just like that, a quick 5-0 spurt from Team Orange in rather easy fashion in which they got those buckets as well. So feels rather important here for Black. maybe even not so much to get this first bucket coming out of this timeout, but you cannot give up a chance at the other end for Orange again with what we've seen to start out in overtime. And back to that dynamic that I talked about maybe around the midway point of the second half, saying why I felt like I would take Team Orange down the stretch in this game. Starting to see that play out here in overtime. Guys like Caleb Johnson, I mean, can you get this guy tired? It's been unbelievable the way Caleb has run the floor throughout this game. Can't praise him enough.
He's gotten his steps in, that's for sure. We've still got a second game on the day, by the way. These doubleheaders are very fruitful for entertainment. White plays Gray, scheduled for 9 o'clock, will almost certainly happen beforehand. Kistner, his three-pointer, rims out. White gets the rebound. He'll get the putback and the bucket. Cuts it back down to a three-point game.
So how about that? Your point guard, smallest guy on the floor, crashing the glass and providing second chance points. That's big-time stuff.
It does help when he's already there after giving a pass to the wing. But still, the fact that he gets the rebound shouldn't happen.
But he sealed his guy underneath the rim and got the position. I mean, that's a winning play.
Got to box out. Orange trying to take all the time in the world. Double crossover there by Bolden. He was working on Canada, who's still playing active defense here on Johnson, who steps back and hits one. Not known for his jumper thus far in the game, but he can still be ever so successful from it. Lizelle Smith from the right wing trying to make it again that two-point game. He can't do so. And here comes Orange once more. Inside 3 minutes now as it stands. Medina's behind Bolden. He needs to get rid of the ball. He will to Garmin. Garmin gets it through.
All of a sudden, Black just cannot buy a stop.
Medina trying to get one himself. He will off the board. But this is where the defense needs to set in and/or pretend it exists for the first time in OT, if not at least second after the Lizelle Smith block earlier. Here again is Bolden going up. He gets fouled on the way through. And Smith, that's a dangerous play as Bolden goes up for what was either a dunk or a layup. Either way, Smith kind of just stands in the restricted area and looked like he was going to jump for it, and he just doesn't leave his feet.
I mean, you just never quite know what Santana is thinking out there. He had the wide open runway for the jam earlier in this game, and he passes it up, just lays it up and in there. Got a guy trailing him right on his hip and another guy to meet him at the rim and says, let me put this right on your dome. Didn't quite go, but the aggression and the skill on display nonetheless.
He hits both the free throws. Kistner with a side rotating three-pointer. That's not usually the cyclical rotation you want to have on those shots. Good idea on the pass to Jackson Garmin. Doesn't actually get there, though.
Yeah, put the opposite spin on that one of what he really wanted.
Still a 7-point game. 2 minutes left in this one. White drive, jump stop, hands it off to Medina. His shot, he gets the foul as well. Count the bucket just the same. Didn't look like it went through. I thought it hit the outside of the net for a second. But Medina does indeed get the bucket. Great pass from White, creating the space off the jump stop as well. Kind of a screen set at the same time.
So we mentioned, Team Black maybe looking a little bit tired here in overtime. Not this man.
Nope.
Sebastian Medina all game long has really set the tone for Team Black.
Medina trying to make it a three-point play, can't do so. Rebound Madero. Now Bolden with the ball. He's got to cross midcourt. He does so up to Johnson. Johnson wanted to drive. Madero, Bolden again, who's realizing, wait, we've got a two-possession lead with well over a minute and a half left. Ackerman wanted to drive and bucket. He can't do so. Somehow Caleb Johnson misses the putback at a 6-4 click. And so too does Josep Romero, but the shot clock resets because they hit the rim 3 separate times in 12 seconds. What a sequence of events that is actually beneficial for Orange because time still is expiring on the tail end of OT. Kistner finally gets a rebound. There was no fifth chance opportunity here for Orange. They threw it off of Kistner. Great pass to Medina, but now we're inside 70 seconds. There's Lizelle Smith. He wants the dunk himself. He'll pull it down, but he can't get the bucket. And now Romero gets the ball. Maybe now Black thinking of fouling, but Drew Canada picks off the pass, puts it to Medina. His three-pointer no good. Kistner gets the rebound. All the way across to Chase White, inside to Drew Canada. The layup is good. It's a three-point game.
Oh, man, you just cannot have that turnover if you're Orange. Up 5 with less than a minute left. That was a killer.
That is where you take 29 seconds, go for a layup, and get the bucket. That's how you expire there. Ackerman finally misses a three-pointer for the first time seemingly this calendar year, at least from what we've seen here on our broadcasts. White wants it himself. 3-second difference shot in game clock, and the shot clock is turned off. They need to foul him. Somebody needs to tell them they need to foul him. They should now. Bolden's driving through two, make it three players. Dunk is no good. He got overzealous. No reason for it. They need to keep the ball. They won't do so. It falls through the hands of Madero. Jump ball possibly. They won't do so. And finally, a timeout is called by somebody. Who it is beyond me. I think Orange has the ball control technically. Timeout called by them. And the only reason they're able to do so is because they were the last team with full control and nobody else technically had it between now and then.
Now look, I know we've talked about it all night long, like playing the Greenville style of basketball. Some of these shots late in the game here, I mean, we've got to clean it up a little bit with the amount of time, situation, and what to do. And that's why these games are so important, right? That's why you play these games. You get the experience of what it's like to go throughout the course of a game, playing this up and down style, and all of a sudden, now with less than a minute left, hey, you got to hold the basketball here, not be thinking about a transition bucket, but just thinking about, hey, how can we not turn the basketball over, and how can we get a good look maybe with under 10 on the shot clock? I know that's something doesn't really exist in the vocabulary of what goes on here at Greenville, but in these late game situations.
Black needs to foul. They can't do so. Time's going to expire. This one's over. Ackerman wants a buzzer beater. He'll hit it as well. Make it a 6-point difference as the game concludes. 113-107. Black just could not catch up. Good ball movement. Giuseppe Romero got it up to Caleb Johnson. The quick pass to Tyson Ackerman. And just a courtesy buzzer beater to close this one out. Black had a perfect opportunity to end it in regulation. They don't capitalize. Orange will do just that. Maybe a fortuitous timeout called. Whether or not they earned it, that's still up for debate. But this one concludes with Orange taking the lead and thus the victory.
Well, that was a lot of fun. What a way to kick us off for the night. I mean, really competitive game.
Yeah.
Saw a couple of teams that really played hard for the course of 40-plus minutes into overtime. And again, those are really valuable experiences for these guys. A lot of growth, a lot of stuff they can learn from on the tape, and a great performance, again, to get us started. Hopefully we get the same here in Game 2.
We'll wait just a second to end this one. I'm curious about some stats, whether or not there were a couple double, if not triple doubles. With how much time played through, we'll certainly get the numbers here. Here are the stats. 107-113 is the official and final total. Point leaders, Chase White with 39, but Santana Bolden with 47 points. He did finish with a triple-double. 10 assists, 11 total rebounds. He also was fouled 10 times. Technically a quadruple-double if you want to get into semantics, but I won't do so. He also had 4 turnovers, not good. 4 steals, equaled it out. And he was 9 for 10 from the free throw line. He himself was a 90% free throw shooter. 2 for 14 from 3. He just replicated his first half lack of success, still 14%. And 18 for 38 from the field for him alone. 47 for 90 for the team, 7 for 28 from beyond the three-point arc. Thank you very much, Tyson Ackerman. He went 4 for 7, and 12 for 15 from the free throw line. They finish at an 80% click there. 44 for 95 for Black. They finished 9 for 44 from three-point range. For all of you mathematicians at home, that is a 20% three-point shooting team. 10 for 22 from the free throw line. Rebounds finished 47 to 39 in favor of Orange, including 39 of those being defensive rebounds. 18 to 15 in terms of total assists, 16 to 11 in turnovers, with Black having less. 13 to 8 in steals, favoring Black, and blocks were dead even, 1 and 1 for each. Final thoughts here, Colin.
Well, I'm happy I started Santana Bolden on my GLeague Fantasy League team. He came through in a big way tonight. I mean, the competitive value of that game was just tremendous.
Yeah.
Again, two sides that I think can learn a lot from what we saw in that one, and the team that was more committed to their style and their personnel and what got it done, Orange being going down into the paint was the one that ultimately prevailed in this one. Saw a couple of early three-point shots. Mentioned that the coach on Orange's side was maybe not too happy with some of the shot selection, and after that timeout early in overtime, I mean, it was a serious commitment to getting downhill, and that ultimately made the difference.
So Orange spent 4 minutes and 37 seconds with the lead. Of that time, almost all of it was spent in overtime. 36-38 minutes and seconds for Black with the lead. Their biggest lead was 9. That was just inside the second half. Biggest lead for Orange was 7. That was midway through OT. Turnovers, or points off of turnovers, 24-14 for Black. Points in the paint, 72-68 for Orange. Second chance points, 19-8 for Black. Fast break points, 21-20 for Orange. And points from the bench, 20-10 for Orange. That was entirely based off of Tyson Ackerman and his 4 3-pointers. Orange wins in an overtime thriller. They did not lead for any more than 30 seconds in regulation. They well over quadrupled that inside of the OT period. 113-107 is the final.